Welcome back, viewers. Viewers, that second part is solely for the students of the law degree and the students who want to go to the law field. As I promised, I'm going to ask a couple of questions from one of the renowned advocate of Supreme Court, Mr. Kusam Faisal Mufti. Mr. Mufti, I'm going to ask the first question that why the law degree was prolonged from 3 years to 5 years.
Basically, it is lack of knowledge.
Okay.
Basically, it has not been prolonged.
Okay.
The switching time has been changed.
Right.
Previously, you do your matriculation in Pakistan, then intermediate, then
Right.
graduation, then
Right.
you have to have an admission in law.
So for example, if the normal student normally do the matriculation at the age of 16, intermediate at the age of 18, graduation if he or she going to pass in the first go, that means 20 years. So after 20 years, he or she going to get the admission in law, and then he or she graduated by the age of 25.
Okay. It is a misnorm.
Okay.
Basically, normally, at the age of 16, one
Average, that's right.
One passes the matriculation.
That's right.
Then at the age of 18,
That's it.
one say that passes a
Intermediate.
intermediate.
That's right.
This is the point now. This is the point now where one has to decide whether he opts the field of law.
That's right.
Previously, after the intermediate, one has to do the graduation and then switch over to the law.
Okay.
After intermediate, even previously there was 5 years education.
Okay.
Even now there is 5 years education.
Right.
Previously, you are not decisive at the time when you took intermediate examination.
Right.
Only one university in Pakistan which takes the students at the time when they pass as intermediate, that is Islamic University.
Okay.
They have already got two different programs.
Right.
One is 5 years program and one is 3 years program.
Okay.
They admitted students in 3 years program after graduation and in 5 years program after intermediate.
So still it's going
So
on
we
there.
borrowed that particular
So
model.
still it's still the.
Yes, still.
Okay.
Still.
So for the graduation students, the one who has done the already graduation, they're going to do the 3 years program, and the one who's going to do the intermediate, they want to go to enter into the graduation law. I mean, they're going to do the 5 years.
No. Right now, the 3-year program is going on,
Okay.
but from next year, there will be no admission in 3 years program.
For intermediate.
For intermediate, now the era is for intermediate students to
Right.
decide whether they opt the field of law.
Right.
If they opt, so then they take admission and go on.
I mean, so many students ask me the question, right? And on their behalf, I'm going to ask that question. You know, the typical question they're going to ask me straight away. They said, "Sir, can you please ask your guest that why we should go to do the law?" If,
Because,
for example, if I'm as a student, I want to go and do the law degree, how are you going to convince me that why should I do the law?
Because, basically it was profession of lords.
Okay.
It is not a normal or casual profession.
Right.
It was basically a profession of lords, but by the times when ambitious people are not coming in the profession, and only those like me
Right.
who have nothing to do and they opt that no, okay, I'm doing law.
Right.
But for this program of 5 years is introduced with a view that only ambitious persons should join the profession.
Right.
Let's suppose after intermediate, medical students are getting in.
Right.
After intermediate, the engineering students are getting in.
That's right.
After intermediate, the military academy
That's
are
For 2 years time,
taking
yeah.
over the
That's right.
cadets.
Yeah.
So we decided that this is the right time, this is the right age where everyone should have to decide what he has to do.
That's right.
Only the scrap should not be putting in having
But on the
influx
humorous side, in our era time, I mean, come on, be fair on that. Especially if you talk about the last decade, the people who got the less marks, they normally go to the law degree. Is it true or no?
This is true.
That's right. Yeah, yeah.
I am the one.
Okay.
I got admission nowhere, so that's why I decided to join the profession of law.
Yeah, but now
But-
you are one of the successful person of Pakistan. Mashallah, you are at the moment you are chairman Legal Education Committee of Punjab, and you are the advocate of Supreme Court of Pakistan, which is the highest court of Pakistan, and then you are the member of Punjab Bar Council as well. I mean, and you got the name fame in which you can say the capital of Pakistan and the twin city like Rawalpindi as well. Yeah. So your suggestion for the students that if they want to go to the law, I mean, they can progress.
Yes, number one, they have to decide that whether they have to opt profession of law.
Right.
If they decide so, the only key to success is as your
To get-
leader,
okay.
as your leader,
Right.
as my leader, Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah
Yeah,
suggested,
definitely. Yeah.
work, work and work. There is no alternate, there is no shortcut to success. You have to put in
Yeah.
whole lifetime effort to be somewhere.
That's right.
If you, normally we used to say the students and the juniors are fellows, remain in the queue. The elders or elders vanish, they die, and the vacuum is created. So they'll fill in and they'll go on.
Right. So the viewers, the promise fulfilled. I've asked a couple of questions on your behalf. Now I'm going to take the topic again towards some judicial reforms. I'm going to talk with Dr. Mufti again. Sorry, Mr. Mufti. Mr. Mufti, can you tell me your personal experience of justice in Pakistan? You can narrate any one of the famous case you heard, or I mean, any experience like the justice you thought like it was a fair decision, or the justice was quick enough, and the remedy went after towards the claimants.
Basically, according to capacity, everyone which one can put in tries to do justice, but their circumstances or system with whom they are succumbed.
Right.
We have to do at the first instance certain reforms. Let's suppose there is very little thing I suggested that curtail the shelf life.
Yeah, for the 6 months. Yeah, that's right.
If you will be able to curtail the
Shelf life of the
in
case.
the next decade,
That's right.
you will be giving a splendid service to the judicial system.
Right.
So far as other aspects are concerned, I may suggest one that I was hearing an interview of a Chief Justice of our country. The person interviewing has asked that, Mr. Justice, you know there are such number of cases pending in your court,
That's right.
and the number of judges is very less. I think what I remember, he said like 7 plus the Chief Justice. He said it is not my botheration that the decisions are not coming in,
Wow.
the cases are not disposed of.
Wow.
I just bother that justice be done.
Wow. Wow.
It is not that way that you have to dispose of the cases, you have to decide the cases without getting in deep into the merits of the case.
So the matter is the justice to be done.
Justice to be done.
No, good note. Viewers, if you can remember, like one of the old famous saying of Winston Churchill, which I'm a great fan of that. If you see the movie The Darkest Hour, I recommend you, especially the youngsters, watch that movie. During the Second World War, the Germany destroyed most of the United Kingdom, and the people was hovering here for the next 6 years, from 1939 to 1945, and the cabinet people, they were so hesitate to give the ideas to Winston Churchill, and one of the person came and asked Mr. Winston Churchill that's we are going to be unemployed and economy going to be grown down. So Winston Churchill said that go and look what the courts are doing at the moment. If they're doing the justice, let me know. One of the ministers came back and they said, the court's doing fine, justice has been done. Winston Churchill said that we're going to survive the next 70 years. So if you can mark, it's still 75 years after the Second World War and the economy is still growing. Please continue. Yeah.
I was basically saying that, and I suggest that cases are not to be disposed of.
Yeah.
Cases are not to be decided. Rather, cases are not to be disposed of. They should be decided.
Decided.
Decision of
Justice
the
needs to be
case
fulfilled. That's right. I'm going to take you to the next question because I need to conclude the time of the program as well. So this question was asked by the audience as well. What is the significance of FIR and what's the limitation of FIR? Because the viewers, sometimes they're going to stuck in how to do the FIR, what is the limitation of FIR and what's the significance of FIR. So can you please tell it briefly that what is the FIR and what is the limitation of FIR, please?
First, I take you the second question.
Okay.
The second question.
That's right.
What is the limitation of
Limitation of FIR.
Basically, if you go by the law stricto sensu,
That's right.
there is no limitation.
Okay.
But having said so, I want to say that with an example, I can let's suppose an incident of murder took place, and a person came to the spot after 24 hours, and he says, "No, I'm here. Register my FIR." Police authorities will register the FIR. At times, the police record is withheld and it was relegated to the time when the occurrence took place.
That's right.
So there were two questions which if I am the defense counsel, I'll ask the gentleman,
That's right.
for 24 hours, where were you?
Right.
You pose yourself as an eyewitness, but if you were the eyewitness, you would have registered this first information report well in time, spontaneously, right after the incident took place.
That's right.
So the credibility of witness has fizzled out by just one question, that had he been at the place of occurrence, he would have registered the first information report then and there.
Right.
So-
Mr. Mufti, quickly, the limitation of FIR.
Yes, there is no limitation of FIR.
Okay.
You can register an
So
FIR.
if anybody
even
reported the FIR,
after-
it's going to go till the end, till the death? Okay. Yeah.
Limitation means registration, when a FIR can be registered.
Right.
FIR of a particular incident can be registered even after 100 years.
Right.
But the person involved in the transaction should explain why this delay occurred.
Okay.
If they do not explain the delay with a reason
Right.
or logic, then the whole case has been thrashed to earth.
Right.
So far as the significance of FIR, my teacher used to say that an FIR of a brilliant officer, an intelligent complainant, is the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Wow.
The ingredients of the FIR, if one is able to fulfill all those, or put every block
let's be honest.
of break in the wall,
Telling you.
then it is obviously the judgment of the Supreme Court.
Brilliant.
Okay.
So I'm sure your teachers are the brilliant ones, so that's why you are the brilliant student, and the result is there. So viewers, it was Kusan Faisal Mufti, one of the renowned advocate of Supreme Court of Pakistan. Viewers, today we will discuss about briefly on judicial reforms of Pakistan, and especially the students' feedback needed for this program, that why they're going to go to the law degree, and the students, they are currently in law, how they're going to progress in the future. So stay tuned with the JNN. Stay strong, Pakistan. Long live Pakistan. Rishams signing off.